Hey guys, it's 101 R Smith and we are back. Today we're looking at a little older Master Grade, but not too old. Today we're looking at the Master Grade Gundam DX, or more notably known as Gundam XX from After War Gundam X. Now, why am I reviewing this today? It's because it's kind of a kit that I've always wanted to redo. I built the Double X back in 2015 when the kit first came out, and I really loved the build. It was very intuitive. It was still within the first year of me doing Gunpla, but unfortunately my Double X has not survived the passage of time. All the joints got loose, and I just wanted to do a do-over. Also, it's just I wanted to paint it from the top up because it's one of my favorite Master Grade kits that I ever built. And also, I've always had a problem with the choice of very dark blue. I always saw Gundam Double X as a very dark Gundam, and I was always struggling with the color choice until I discovered NATO Black, and I decided, okay, I'm gonna use this NATO Black, and it's finally the tone of color that I wanted. So, kind of like a remastering of sorts. I'm doing over a kit that I did 5 years ago before I was ever on YouTube. It's one of my favorite kits, and I really do believe that Gundam X is a very underrated anime. It was a lot of fun, different, and definitely kind of like a big what if Gundam actually had a post-apocalyptic atmosphere to it. So, with that in mind, you've seen how the process has gone so far if you looked at my work in progress video, and it was a very intensive 2 weeks to put it together, and for the most part, I'm pretty proud of the final product. So, let's take a look and see what we have. All built up, painted, and now we have Master Grade Gundam XX. I'm so happy with this project. Again, it was kind of like a passion project for me, like Wing Zero was putting it like an old Master Grade, getting a second chance at doing a lot of the things that I did wrong better now. For example, I'm so happy with the NATO Black. It worked out marvelously. It's the perfect blend that I've always saw Gundams like the Freedom, Double X, and New Gundam having. The white went pretty well. There's technically two tones of reds. There's the bright red and the pure red. However, to me, it doesn't really stand out very well. And also, just I tried to not use any foil stickers outside of the eyes. And otherwise, I'm really happy about how it came out together. My one little personal pet peeve is that I've yet to master how to apply panel line to painted kits. I know you're supposed to put a clear coat and then you panel line it, but it just never quite works out for me with painted kits so far. If anyone has any hints or wants to tell me, give me advice how to go forward with that, that would be great. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with the finished product. But let's see if it can pose really well. Let's take a look at some of the articulation. Starting off with the head can go 360 and has a double jointed neck, which actually works pretty well. You're going to get double jointed shoulders that can pop out and could go parallel to each other, as well as going 360 degrees. You're going to get a bicep swivel and a double jointed elbow. You're also going to be able to get the wrists who use the swappable hands to go 360 as well. So, swappable hands. Now the waist, you get a double jointed waist, but due to the satellite cannon, it's pretty loose, so you might want to be a bit careful with that. Front and side skirts can go out easily, but the back is a little bit tighter. The legs can sprout out parallel to each other, and the ankles themselves can move out as well. Overall, the articulation, in spite of the fact that I painted it, works pretty well. It's tighter, which should hold up the joints a bit better than my straight build for years on end, and works together to put out the Gundam well. Accessory time! First off, we start with the beam swords. Not beam sabers, beam swords. And unlike the Master Grade Gundam X, Double X comes with two, which, suffice to say, is a bonus. Which I think Double X can pull off some pretty nice dashing poses, just like in the anime, how you see in the opening, how it dashes to attack an opponent, and can also do some striking poses with the beam sword in hand pretty well. I think, personally, that the beam sword is definitely one of the better accessories on this kit. It's strong, it's striking, it's gonna make it stand out from the rest of the Gundams in the Gundam lore. It's just a really cool beam effect part, you know? And Gundam X pulls off these beam saber effect parts pretty well. Next up, we are going to have the Buster Rifle and the Defense Plate. The Buster Rifle and the Defense Plate combo, I gotta say, it's a little weak, generic. I always was a fan of the Gundam X's Buster Rifle, where it was both a shield and a gun at the same time. A little bit of a step down, but it works pretty well. Gundam X can pull off like a dashing attack pose with both the Defense Plate, and you don't even need to hold the shield because this one has attachable arms that can move out anywhere. That actually works pretty well because you don't have to use the bracket hands to try to hold them together, which can get really frustrating, so use that attachment hand. And also, just because it has the attachment hand doesn't mean that it can't pull off a strike pose just as bold and as strong as the L strike can. That is why I'm so happy that I was able to get an action base. I would say that an action base is mandatory for this kit. Now, I know you guys are thinking, where's the twin satellite cannon? Now, hold on a second, I'm going to break it down to you. We're going to get to the satellite cannon. That is why we are here for Gundam X. To get the satellite cannons ready, you're going to want to push them and pull them to the front of the mobile suit. You're going to want to pull them out because they have a little bit of a hinge system. You're going to pull out the kind of sensors on the insides of the shoulder cannons, clamp them together, and lo and behold, here is your twin satellite cannon. And this just looks so powerful. I'm actually pretty happy I didn't paint the clear gold translucent parts for the cannon. I had that in mind, but I said because of the prism paper, I feel it wouldn't translate well, and I think that was a really good idea. This is a very powerful pose, and you gotta think, without Double X, we don't get the Freedom Gundam. So this Gundam comes a very long way into establishing that basic design for the Freedom Gundam, but Double X, I do feel like it pulls off this pose just a little bit better than Freedom. Then when you get in a little bit closer, it just looks phenomenal with the panels flashing out and everything. It's as anime accurate as you could possibly ask for, and this is why you buy the Gundam Double X twin satellite cannon. You know, I gotta say, with this project, I'm pretty happy with the results that we have here. It's a really good kit. Double X is a good kit, even if it's just a straight build, and painting it up just makes it so much better. I'm so happy that I was able to pull this off, and it's a really good kit. My few gripes is you need to be careful because some of the parts can get a little strained, such as kind of like the shoulder sensors that come out of the shoulder pads. You want to be a little bit careful with that because you could stress that part out. And I do still, even painted, I do worry about that waist section. That was one of the loosest parts of my straight build Double X, and it's still kind of loose and floppy even on an action base. I do worry for the future how that's going to hold up, but I guess we're just going to have to wait another 5 years to find out. Wish there was another way to tighten up, but I guess because of those cannons and the wings, it's not going to really cooperate well, which is why I feel that the Double X is a kit that demands and mandates you to go get an action base, which is infuriating for some, but it's a necessary sin. And that's kind of the end of the review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Also, what do you guys think of some of the camera choices and camera angles on this review? I just happened to get a tripod, and I'm slowly but surely upgrading my setup, so I'm kind of wondering what you guys think. You guys want to give some advice, some tips, some angles that you want to see, because this tripod gives me a lot of options. No more having to use coffee pots as my tripod. So this is 101 Artsmith, and I will see you later. Peace.